Hello my friends, I'm Bee and this is Bee's Intuition, and today we're going to do a little reading. I thought it would be fun to title this one, What's the Haps? And by that, like, what is happening around you? Yeah, let's just check in with the energy around you, okay? What is happening for, well, I guess for the collective or around the collective? Things that pertain to the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. What's happening right now? Please and thank you. What's the haps? Please and thank you, Spirit. What is the haps? What is happening? Ooh. Okay. We got the 9 of Swords. Somebody could be very stressed out, or maybe just recently. 7 of Cups. Maybe there's something that you're not seeing clearly on, causing confusion. Or many options of something that could also cause confusion, I suppose. 2 of Wands, somebody making plans. Okay. Yeah, let's go with that. Bottom of the deck is the 4 of Swords. That's a self-care card, in my opinion. But there is something about intuition that comes out much stronger with this card compared to the 4 of Swords, the traditional Rider-Waite deck. This one emphasizes the intuition part, like maybe receiving downloads through resting. Okay, let's just start clarifying, okay? Starting with that 9 of Swords. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with this? What's the haps with this 9 of Swords? What's the haps with this 9 of Swords now? Please and thank you, Spirit. What's the haps with this 9 of Swords here? Whoop. 2 of Pentacles. Somebody's balancing something or trying to achieve balance. Could be in their emotional state. There is water in the background. Can you clarify that 2 of Pentacles? What's going on with that? Ah. Something to do with their passion. Or attraction to somebody, or, yeah. Someone who wants to express passion towards somebody. I mean, this is all clarifying that 9 of Swords, so I'm thinking that whatever is stressing this person out has to do with somebody that they are passionate about or very attracted to. It feels like somebody wants to flirt, but maybe they're like not sure if they can or if they should. Okay, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. The Hierophant. Oh. So I'm almost thinking, yeah, somebody could be torn between, is this just attraction or is this the real thing? Like love, you know, happily ever after. Like, is this, you know, I feel like somebody's evaluating somebody else in their own mind. Like, do I feel only attraction towards this person, or do I see myself committing to this person long term? Because it feels like they are very obviously attracted. This feels like somebody that is trying to come towards you. It seems like they're very obviously attracted to you, but they're trying to determine, is it simply just attraction? Is it simply just passion? Or is there something real to this? And like long lasting? Because the Knight of Wands is not always long lasting. Usually not. Can you tell me more about that Knight of Wands, please and thank you, Spirit? What's happening with that? Please and thank you. Knight of Wands clarification, please and thank you. Ooh, what was that? 6 of Swords. This could be a shift in mindsets. Or maybe even perspectives. Yeah, let's clarify that. Oh, actually, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck first. King of Wands. So if this is a shift in like mindsets or perspectives, this person may be going from a knight to a king, which is a pretty big jump there. I feel like that almost like tells me that this person may mature, or if there's something like maturing within this person. Maybe it was the way in which they perceived you. Maybe they thought at first that this would be more fun as like a little fling, but then like it feels like there could have been some sort of like inner reflection going on here, or maybe some introspection. And they come out realizing like, oh, these feelings are much more serious, and maybe I need to step more so into this more mature role so that the other person doesn't get the wrong idea here. Because especially if this person comes forward to kind of flirt with you, yeah, you definitely may get the wrong impression from this person. Like, oh, this person just wants like a fling and whatever. Like, they're not serious. And I feel like they want to be taken seriously, or maybe this is what they realize inside themselves. Like, I don't want to be perceived as a flirt. I don't want to be perceived as somebody that's not long-term material. So I have to kind of grow up a little bit. I have to kind of like step into a phase of maturity and like a sense of embodying someone that the person that I'm attracted to will actually take seriously. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Let's see. Clarify that Six of Swords for us, please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with that Six of Swords, please and thank you? What's happening? What's the haps with that Six of Swords, please and thank you? Okay. King of Wands. So yeah, this is literally just trying to validate what I just said. Somebody's been going on like this. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit, because this is exactly what I was trying to say. For some reason, I usually would see this maybe as more of like an external movement, and not necessarily in the way of like physically moving, but like something in the 3D moving away from that. But this felt, for whatever reason, when it came out, it felt more so like a psychological thing. Like somebody is shifting inside of themselves, inside of their mind, inside of their mindsets, their perspectives of things. And I think exactly what I was just saying, like this person is shifting their mindset. Maybe, yeah, maybe they started out thinking like this is only gonna be for a good time and a quick time. But the more they reflect, the more they look at like this connection, you may even share some sort of like opinions, mindsets. Like it feels like you have intellectual commonalities, because like something caused this person to go within and really reflect on this and really deeply think about it. And that's when they realize like, oh, I like this person a lot, and because of that, I need to be the person that they will actually want to be with. Somebody that's mature, self-assured, definitely somebody that knows what they want and isn't going to confuse somebody else because they're not confused, This could also be talking about maybe this person lacked confidence in the past, and now they have to build up this confidence in order to be able to just come forward in the way that demands the most respect, or that really takes this much more seriously. There feels like this sense of going from something not being so serious to all of a sudden feeling like it's very serious. And not in a bad way. It feels like it's a positive realization. Okay, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. The Fool card, okay. Aww. I actually really like the Fool card a lot because like it really tells me, you know, the white rose symbolizing innocence, the little white dog next to him, which is all about loyalty. This could be somebody that is not only genuine, but like genuinely really into you. There's almost like a sense of commitment as well. So if there was a past of this person maybe flirting with you, not so serious, or some sort of fling, it seems like they want to take a step into a new beginning with you. And if things never got off the ground with this person, or maybe this is somebody new coming in, they want to have that new beginning with you. This also speaks a lot about like optimistic new beginning. Like this is somebody being in that right frame of mind for a new beginning. Like they're not like closed off to that new beginning. They're not afraid of that new beginning. They're very much open and excited and optimistic, and they want to see like all of the possibilities that the two of you can explore together. Because there is a big amount of trust with the Fool. Like he literally is like about to walk off the edge of this cliff, and that's because he trusts Spirit will have him and nothing bad will happen to him. And so that could also be another part of it. Like maybe this person has to genuinely trust that Spirit has their back. Maybe they didn't have good luck in the past with like these types of feelings or these types of new beginnings, but it's like they'll have to embody that if they want to have success here. This could be some sort of spiritual awakening, because Spirit plays a big role in the Fool. You know, he's really trusting the divine, like fully, putting his whole trust into the divine. And so I wonder if this person may have gone from somebody that wasn't very spiritual to suddenly being very spiritual. And it feels like maybe the connection that they feel with you could have sparked this spiritual awakening or something. Or just like opened their mind to the possibility of Spirit playing a part in things, even. Like maybe they even feel like Spirit sort of handpicked you for them. Because it feels like this person they're passionate about how they feel about you. Very much so. And they're serious about that with the King of Wands. And there's a self-assuredness with the King of Wands. Like this is somebody who is actually ready. In the way that they actually know what they want. They actually know how they're going to do it. Like they're very confident in their actions and their goals, the things that they want to achieve. And they let their passion guide them. And so maybe that's kind of a message from Spirit to this person, is like, you need to trust that passion instead of trying to suppress it. Lean into it. It almost feels like this is somebody that, it's interesting. It's almost like I feel like a sense of shame or guilt when feeling feelings. I don't know. Like I feel like this is either somebody that's very afraid of their feelings or not comfortable with like embodying those feelings or something, or feeling those feelings, processing those feelings. But again, that could be due to like their past of that not working out for them. There was a message there, but I completely lost it. What was it? Hopefully I'll remember when I'm editing. Um, oh, yes. So it feels almost like this person could have like shame and guilt issues. And by that, I mean like it's excessive. Um, like, you know, feeling guilty and ashamed of yourself for things that are very normal, healthy things, such as being attracted to somebody. You know, there could have been, you know, some sort of external obstacle or maybe a third party situation or something that could have maybe caused this person to feel ashamed or guilty of being attracted to you. But for some reason, that doesn't feel like it's playing a part anymore. So maybe at first, yeah, like they felt like they couldn't really express themselves. And then maybe when they finally felt like they could express themselves, they were maybe going a little too hard with the flirting. Or like, you know, like maybe that was their first impulse to come in flirting. But then maybe they had to recalculate and sort of make up a new game plan because they realized that that was not going to be the winning formula, you know? But yeah, I feel like this is somebody that is very afraid of their passion. And I feel like some of this can come from like this shame, guilt, like to an excessive point, can sometimes come as a result of like religious trauma, you know, or just like being raised in a very strict household, or, you know, with parents that are very controlling, or, you know, don't allow their kids to be kids, you know, very much like expect a lot of them from a very young age. Like there's a lot of things that can make somebody feel that shame, guilt, even over something as simple as being attracted to another person, or realizing that they have feelings for another person, or, you know, like simple everyday human stuff, human emotions. There's a big bird flying over the river. The trees are in the way, I can't see it anymore. I can't tell if it's a bald eagle or a, I don't know, it looks lighter than a bald eagle. Like the wings are not brown. Looks gray or bluish. So I'm thinking maybe a heron, like I saw not too long ago. Anyways, focus B. But yeah, this is somebody or something that this person could really struggle with. Guilt and shame. It feels like, and also that feeling of guilt and shame, like even just the idea of the potential of feeling that could cause this person to completely avoid what they're passionate about, or avoid, you know, who they're attracted to, or, you know, who they have feelings for, just because they're so afraid of feeling that sense of guilt, that feeling of shame. And so that could have even been an obstacle in this little dynamic here. It could have even been like if there wasn't like an outside like third party or another different type of obstacle in the way, it could have simply just been their own trauma, their own past of like feeling guilty about everything and shameful about these types of things. Like things that are very much, you know, normal, human, everyday things, but they feel like it's something to be ashamed of, something to hide, something to repress or suppress. Yeah. But it feels like that's all switching around. Like, I feel like that's more so like maybe their like mindset shifts, you know, like shifting out of that sort of guilty, shameful sort of mindset into, you know, this is kind of embodying the opposite of that. This is somebody that very much knows where their passions lie, where their attraction lies, and they're no longer ashamed of it. They're no longer hiding it. You know, they're very confident about that, and they know exactly what they want, and they're not afraid to go after it, you know? So I feel like this person had some really serious, like, reflection, and maybe, like, in, like, some sort of epiphany, even. And it feels like they've transformed within themselves to become much more mature and more like in touch with their own passions, in touch with like, you know, what they are attracted to, you know, what sparks those feelings within them. It's actually quite beautiful. I feel like this person could be overcoming rather, like something that has to do with that guilt and shame within them. Because like, you know, especially when it gets to such an extent, that guilt and shame that could be useful in like a situation in which there is a reason to be ashamed or guilty or whatever. You know, when it's excessive like that, and it's just like, you know, every time you're attracted to somebody, you're feeling guilty and ashamed, or, you know, like, you know, simple human things make you feel guilty and ashamed, like you have something to hide. You know, it's not useful to anyone at that point, you know? Especially when it comes to like humans experiencing human emotions and human feelings. Like, you know, it's almost laughable when you see it from this sort of perspective, which is more externally. And you're like looking at it from an outside perspective, you're like, oh, that's so silly. Like, why would you feel ashamed for being attracted to somebody? Or like, why would you feel ashamed for having feelings for somebody? Like, that's such a normal part of being a human. But, you know, maybe this person grew up in an environment where like any type of attraction was bad, or perceived or told, like maybe they were told like any type of attraction towards anyone is bad and you should feel ashamed about that. You know, like there are very extreme religious groups that believe in that kind of stuff, especially outside of marriage. So it could be like stuff like that. I'm sensing this person could definitely have some sort of, well, they definitely have some sort of trauma, that's for sure, because this is all clarifying that Nine of Swords. So I think that they have PTSD and therefore can be triggered by even just something as simple as being attracted to somebody. And I also am thinking that a part of this guilt and shame could have caused this person to kind of run away from you. I don't think they intentionally meant it or like consciously made this decision, but rather they were just so uncomfortable feeling that guilt and shame within them, even if they weren't doing anything wrong. So they just would rather just avoid that altogether and just avoid you, is what I'm getting. Like, it feels like this person could have literally avoided you. And so, like, maybe when this person actually comes to express something to you, it might even catch you off guard, because, like, this person may have been suppressing their feelings for you for quite some time. Yeah, or just, like, trying to avoid it, run away from it. Like, it feels like... But it feels like they've reached a point where they're, like, so done with that. They're done with that sort of mindset of being ashamed, being guilty, especially when it's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be really guilty about. Yeah, it feels like this is somebody that's like, you know what? Like, why am I doing this to myself? It feels a little bit like that. I feel like this person may have had some sort of epiphany or awakening, or just come to the realization, like, that they were maybe making things a little bit harder for themselves, or that they needed to kind of work through some stuff on a personal level. And it feels like it's to become a better person. More stable, more confident, more self-assured, more ready to go towards the things that they want to go towards, instead of trying to avoid them. I like that, honestly. I really do. Okay, let's go on to the Seven of Cups then. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's happening with the Seven of Cups? King of Pentacles. Okay, I wonder if this is a different person. It is clarifying the Seven of Cups, so it could be possible that you have multiple options. But it also could be this person just showing up in a different energy. Actually, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck before I... Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm getting something here. If this is a different person, because like these both are Pentacles, the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. So if it is a different person, this person is seeing you here as somebody that would be very compatible with them. Sorry, like my butt is on these bricks right now and they're not very good getting up into my bits. Okay. Not that you needed to know that, but now you know. Okay. Yeah. So somebody here is seeing you as this like independent, powerful person. that is kind of like doing their own thing, becoming very abundant, very stable within themselves, very secure within themselves. Like, okay, I don't know why, but your connection to nature could be significant to this person. Maybe you're somebody that likes to go out into nature a lot or something, and this could be something that really, like, this person's really attracted to. Because I feel like there's a very strong connection to nature with this card for some reason. Which honestly, I get a pretty good amount of that, like, connection to nature message when it comes to the pentacles in general, because they usually represent earth signs, and, you know, like, I feel like there is like a connection to nature, but like it's very heightened in this card for some reason right now. I think that this person sees you interacting with nature in a way that is very beautiful and captivating. And because you're showing up in this pentacle abundant energy, it feels almost like they see you as somebody that would be very compatible with them, because they also have a very abundant, stable, secure energy as well. Like, I feel like this is somebody that's just like watching you being just like a little angel, like a little earth angel. Like, you're just like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, this is somebody that is very much in awe of you. You also like have this like really strong sense of independence, it feels like. Or like maybe you're single or something. Like, something about the way you do things is so impressive to this person. Like, it feels like you have everything down. Like locked down, like on your own, like you have things under control. Like, it feels like you're like the boss of your own life or something. Like, it's something like, I don't know, it's like something about your power or your sense of self. Like, it's very like, woof. Like, I feel like this person like fans themselves when they see you just going about your everyday stuff. They're just like, oh, woof. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know how else to articulate it. Like, that's what I'm picking up on. Because, like, to me, this card is almost showing me, like, how they perceive you through their eyes. And they just see you as, like, this little ray of sunshine. And it really almost feels like you're, like, oh, like, maybe even a little bit of, like, a... Sorry about the plane. I'll wait for it to pass. I'm getting even like a little bit of like a Mother Nature sort of vibe. Maybe you have a green thumb? Maybe you have a garden. Or maybe you just like nature. Like, even just a simple appreciation for nature could be like very attractive to this person. But it feels like it's, I don't know. And it's not just plants. And it's not just animals and nature. Like, I feel like it's all of that. There's something very loving about your energy and your aura. Maybe that's what it is. It's like a loving sort of, maybe it's like sort of like a maternal sort of energy, of like just caring and loving, and I don't know exactly, but like that kind of energy. Like just the energy of wanting to care for things, or people, or animals, or the trees. Like, you know, like it's literally a very beautiful energy. And they definitely see you as somebody that stands out on their own. Like, it really feels like there's a spotlight on you in this person's mind. Can you clarify that, King of Pentacles, for us? Who is this person? Please and thank you. Four of Swords. Okay, so I'm thinking this could be the same person as before, that King of Wands. This is somebody who just recently went through a time of maybe self-reflection, meditation, resting, or feels like they took a step back for a period of time to kind of like deal with some stuff internally. Feels like they gained a lot of wisdom through this. And that wisdom could have created some sense of clarity. Because This is all clarifying the Seven of Cups, which can deal with like illusions and stuff, like not seeing things quite clearly. And so maybe they needed to go into this Four of Swords energy to get some clarity on a situation. Could be how they feel about you, that they needed clarity on that. Bottom of the deck, the Hermit, which I often say that the Four of Swords is kind of like the mini Hermit card. So this person may have gone on like a very deep, like introspective, like journey. But it's like there's something about like their own spirituality that also plays a part. Like maybe they were guided by spirit to take a step back and reflect on things. Like it feels like they needed to like recenter themselves, especially like in their own life, like almost. Like this definitely feels like somebody that gave away their power, or like and I don't mean that he did that consciously, but rather like it feels like somebody that could have been like a people pleaser, or like just really wanted to make other people happy, so they sort of stopped doing what they wanted to do and started to just do what everybody else wanted instead, which is kind of sad. It feels kind of like a hollow existence living like that, when you're just not paying any attention to your own needs, desires, like your own dreams, aspirations, goals. Like it feels like this was somebody that was maybe drained of that, or just put all of their own stuff on the back burner for a really long time. And this Hermit card is telling me that this is somebody that had to go back within themselves to see all of that they've been hiding. All of their desires, their wants, their needs, like kind of like realizing, oh wait, I am really neglecting myself. It kind of feels like that. They realized how much they were neglecting themselves, and it feels like on a very like spiritual level as well. And again, I'm kind of getting like this sense of like an epiphany, or this like realization here. And the Hermit card is actually very beautiful too when it comes to romance and stuff. You know, if this is somebody that's reflecting on, you know, what they truly want out of life, what they want to achieve, like their own goals and stuff. Because like the star in the lantern that guides the way for the Hermit that star is the star card. And so like the star card usually indicates like, you know, that North Star that guides the way for us. And typically it's like about like finding our purpose, finding our, you know, what we want to go towards in life, what we truly want, what we truly desire. And so it feels like if this person was reflecting on how they felt about you, they're realizing now that where they want to head is in your direction, because you feel like that you are part of their fate, their destiny, or that you're very significant to this person and their journey in some way. And that could have been what they realized by going within and kind of, you know, really taking a deep look into this. And you know, when they come out of the Hermit phase, they're much wiser, and their wisdom really comes from within, and their knowledge of themselves. But that can be so empowering when we understand ourselves, when we understand what we want, and we listen to that, and we don't repress that or suppress that. We don't like try to ignore that, and instead we listen to that, and we take actions to fulfill our dreams, to go towards what we want. Yeah. So I'm even kind of going back to that idea of like the shame and the guilt and stuff. That could have even been something that this person was like very, you know, felt ashamed of just having any desire or any needs, or wanting anything. Like it feels like this person literally felt guilty for maybe just desiring things or wanting things, or yeah, it feels like anything that this person thought would be good for themselves or fulfilling for themselves, they just kind of were like, well, Like, that's inconvenient, so I'm going to push it aside. Or, you know, that's not what everybody else wants, so I'm going to push that aside because I want to do what everybody else wants instead, because I want to make people happy. But in that process, you lose a part of yourself. Or you start to forget. Like, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? Yeah, so it's very possible that this person could be the same as before. Which would make sense. I don't know. I think it's going to depend on the individual that I'm connecting with. I think some of you, this could be two people. But for some of you as well, it could just be one person. Because I am getting very similar energies, but it's possible that these are just very... like, these are two people that have been going on very similar journeys. Because, like, this... Oh, goodness gracious. There's a daddy long leg walking across my cards. I was not expecting that. I mean, out of all the spiders, I prefer daddy long legs because they're not as scary to me. Because they're just so common, you know? But he's minding his own business. He's just on his merry way. Okay, what was I saying? I think I got lost a little bit, or distracted. But yeah, like, it feels like both of these people, or if it's the same person, yeah, it feels very similar, because it's just like this King of Pentacles seemed like they needed to reflect on their feelings towards you because they weren't sure, or something wasn't quite clear. And then with the King of Wands, it was more so like, is this just attraction, or is it something deeper? And so they had to go within to kind of reflect on that. So it could be that these are two separate people, or they're the same person. Neither would surprise me at this point. Can you clarify that Four of Swords, please, and thank you, Spirit? The Chariot card came out in the reverse. Sometimes I'm hesitant about saying that they're coming out in the reverse because I'm on a very lumpy surface. So even if it came out upright, it might come out in reverse because of the lumpy surface. But let me see if I can get the message if this is supposed to be in the reverse. This could speak to, like, maybe a fear of coming towards you. Or maybe realizing that now is not the right time to move towards something. Let me see what's at the bottom of the deck. Knight of Cups. That's kind of like the opposite energy, because the Knight of Cups is going in to what they want. And that's usually like an expression of feelings. So it could be like a fear that they're overcoming. So maybe if they were confused about their feelings, about how they felt about you, and now they're realizing, you know, these are serious feelings. They may know that they need to take steps towards you, but that could really scare them. Especially because, like, with the Chariot card, very similarly to the Hermit card, the star in his crown is like the star card in the tarot deck. Similarly to how the star in the Hermit's lantern is the star card. So it's like all about, like, you know, going towards your fate, going towards your destiny, what is meant for you. And so it could be that because this person has realized that you are part of their fate, destiny, or, you know, something pretty big like that and significant, they could be scared out of their mind about going towards you. yeah, it's kind of like that feeling of like, if I go towards this, if we start to open this up here, like nothing's ever going to be the same again. And so like there could even be like a little bit of a fear to go outside of their comfort zone. You know, maybe the way that they have their life set up right now is very comfortable, and so they're like afraid of like change, you know, and shaking things up, and you know, and actually, you know what, this is starting to make more and more sense to me, because if this person had a past of feeling ashamed or guilty of what their desires, wants, needs are, that maybe they feel selfish. Maybe they feel like it's selfish to come towards you because because of that past trauma. And also like maybe like they don't know how you feel, which could also be a part of that Seven of Cups, you know, that illusions, like not seeing things clearly, not getting all the full picture. So it could be that this person, you know, just needs to still work through that, like that trauma of feeling ashamed and guilty for wanting, you know, wanting a partner, or like being attracted to somebody, or, you know, deciding that they want to have a relationship with somebody. Like, you know, it may not seem like a big deal to us, but maybe it's a huge deal to them, you know, taking any steps in the direction of putting themselves first, putting their desires first, you know. That could be like a really big deal to this person, and that could be like really hard for them to overcome. But with that Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, it feels like they are overcoming this fear, because ultimately what they want is what is going to make them emotionally the most happy. So yeah, it feels like they'll have to come to this point where they have to put their own happiness first. Especially if they're out of practice with doing that, that could be very difficult for them. So yeah, that Chariot in the reverse is starting to make much more sense now. It definitely speaks to fear, I think. And I feel like, yeah, they may not know exactly how you feel about this, and that could be part of why they're a little bit afraid as well. So like, because like, yeah, especially if they're going back to that feeling of feeling guilty or ashamed for like wanting this, that could be, in their mind, it could be selfish for them to approach you, because what if you don't want it, you know? And they put you in a very awkward position. That could be what they're afraid of, you know? Coming towards you, you not feeling the same way, and then putting you in this really awkward position that they don't want to put you in. So yeah, maybe they're a little bit like overthinking this, maybe letting their fears kind of like play a part to maybe an unhealthy extent. But it feels like their emotions, they're so like steady, or I don't even know how to what kind of word to use for that. Like their emotions and their feelings for you are so constant. That's what it is. Constant and very like calm, or something, like, I don't know. Because like I'm very drawn to this like river at the bottom, and it feels almost like, because they're so constant, because they are, I feel like it's very positive feelings, and so it's like all of that combined, I feel like, is going to build up to a point where they can't ignore it anymore, that they can no longer suppress that, and so they have to actually take the action towards you, because they're realizing like these feelings aren't going anywhere. You know, who am I kidding? I can't avoid these feelings at this point, you know? I'll just clarify that Chariot card in the reverse. Please and thank you, Spirit. Am I on the right track with that? Please and thank you. Okay. Come on. Okay. Three of Cups. Oops. 10 of Pentacles. Tower card. Okay. Again, I'm getting that message of like nothing will ever be the same again. So like this is so significant to this person. You also may be friends. Or maybe they see you as a friend, or maybe you just interact in a very friendly way. Honestly, what I'm getting is like this is the coming together now. That's what I'm getting really strongly, is like this is you coming into union potentially with this person. And this could be just like a physical union, and not in a spicy way, but like a physical union in the sense of like maybe, yeah, because like I feel like this person could have even been avoiding you. So it's like maybe simply just being together in the same location and talking with one another in a very like lighthearted kind of way. Like it may not seem like a huge deal to you, but like to them that's like a very significant moment, and that could be like what initiates everything. Maybe something in that like conversation that the two of you share. I mean, the cups, you know, clearly there is emotion here. There is love. And it feels very positive. Feels very much full of hope. Yeah, it feels almost like this is the start of everything. Just simply coming together, expressing those feelings, and like having a good time. Because especially the 10 of Pentacles following that, like that's very like that's very good for a relationship, you know? Like this is literally as good as it gets in terms of security, stability, you know, happy home, happy life kind of energy, you know? This is somebody that definitely sees a big future with you. That is full of abundance, prosperity, happiness, contentment. You know, but if that person is not used to that type of abundance, prosperity, you know, pretty much like having a perfect match and being very happy and devoting your lives to one another, that can be really scary. And that can cause a tower moment. Especially if this is the person that has all of that past trauma. And, you know, around guilt and shame and prioritizing themselves and all that kind of stuff. It could definitely trigger some wounds here. Yeah? Yeah? Really? You've got some things to say. That's pretty true. I never thought of it like that before. You learn something new every day. But yeah, so this tower could be very scary. And since this is all clarifying that Chariot card coming out in the reverse, this is probably what they're so afraid of. But they see it. I think that's so weird. This person isn't afraid of it not working out with you. This person is afraid of it working out too good with you. Yeah, this person has some issues, I think. And not to say that that means that they're like a lost cause or anything like that, but just rather like they have some stuff that I think they need to work through on a personal level. Yeah, they're afraid of things going really well. And I think it's probably because this person has just had so many experiences where things didn't work out well. And unfortunately, when we go through a lot of that, especially like back to back, and maybe we think that's what love is supposed to look like, is unstable and all full of craziness and stuff, that becomes our comfort zone. And that becomes where we feel most comfortable and safe, even if it's not good for us. That's literally what I'm getting. It's like they're afraid. And this could also be speaking to, like, they see you as not just an emotional partner or romantic partner, but they also see you as like a best friend. Like, you guys could very well like have that kind of relationship where you're not just partners, but you're also best friends. Like, I think, yeah, that's what they're afraid of here, is they're afraid of things going too well. It's almost like they wouldn't know what to do with themselves if everything went according... Well, I shouldn't say according to plan, because I don't know what this person's plan is necessarily, but if everything works out for the best, it feels like that's what they're worried about. They're not worried about, like... I almost feel like maybe that's what they're expecting, is for this not to go well. So if it does go well, I feel like they're going to be almost like, I did not expect to get this far. Like, yeah. It really does feel like that. They're afraid of it going too well. That kind of makes me feel sad for them. Like, everybody deserves their happily ever after. But it feels like this person, like... I don't know if they've just never been happy, or like fully happy in a relationship, or fully secure in a relationship, fully stable in a connection, and therefore it's like, it feels like they're gonna be a stranger in a strange land, you know? Like, it's gonna be so new to them. And I feel like this sense of maybe feeling even a sense of being lost, even, like, because it's like, I don't even know what to do in a dynamic like this, because maybe all of their dynamics in the past have been chaos. Because I almost am getting like, this is what they're used to, relationships looking like this, where everything falls apart, you know, over like the smallest little thing, and, you know, they gotta start from square one again. Like, it feels like that's what they're used to. Chaos, ruin, especially like emotional turmoil. That's their comfort zone, though. Like, that's so sad. That's crazy. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords. So that checks out, especially with this whole like being afraid of things going too well. Because this is somebody that has experienced a lot of devastation, a lot of trauma, a lot of mental turmoil. They've been at their rock bottom at least once in their life. I imagine probably many more times than that, but at least once, for sure. But it's almost like, I don't even know exactly how to articulate this, but it's almost like maybe they thought that this was life. And they grew comfortable with this. They grew comfortable with the darkness, with the unhappiness, with the mental anguish. Yeah, and it's like they don't realize that the sun is rising. Because that's the natural balance of life, you know? We're not meant to spend all of our time in the dark. We're not meant to spend all our time in sadness and pain and misery. There will be another dawn. And so I'm almost feeling like, even though, like, good things following the bad is part of life and the balance of life in the universe. It's almost like this person doesn't expect that counterbalancing. Like, it definitely feels like this person is really, and this kind of goes back to that Two of Pentacles that we saw at the very beginning of this reading. This is somebody that's struggling with that balance. And I think it's because they're so used to being in the dark and the sad and those heavy feelings and that chaos. And I feel like they are not expecting things to go well. They're not expecting that later time of happiness and good things happening for them. There could even be an aspect of suspicion, or like, this is definitely too good to be true, because yeah, this person has gone through so much stuff that has been negative, like really negative. I think that's what it is. They identify with the darkness too much. Like, I almost feel like this is somebody that, I don't even know how to say this. Like, maybe they identify with the pain and the struggle and the chaos. That it almost feels like a betrayal to themselves to be happy. That sounds really crazy and like confusing, but like, you know, especially when it comes to trauma, when it comes to like our own baggage, our pasts and stuff, sometimes it can warp our thoughts to be so unrealistic or unrational or non-logical. So maybe even if it sounds crazy to us, it's like very real to this person. Like it feels almost like this person, because of what they've experienced for so long, they've identified with it and they've maybe like built their identity around it or something. Like, yeah, you know, I just have a tragic backstory. That's like kind of my thing. Or, you know, like, yeah, bad things happen to me all the time. That's kind of my thing, you know? And so if stuff starts going well, not only is it super strange and foreign to them, but it's like, it goes against their identity. Like, even though it's the natural balance of the universe to balance out that darkness with some lightness, they don't expect it. Okay, that's some intense energy. Well, let's go on to that Two of Wands now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with that Two of Wands? What's happening with that? This is very interesting reading. I'm really getting a lot of downloads from this person. Four of Cups in the reverse. Oh. So if this was somebody that ran away from you, they want to come back. They want to revisit this. So like, if this was them, and this was you offering like your cup of love, or hell, it could have been just you simply even expressing some sort of interest, or maybe even throwing a little flirt their way or something. Like, it could have been any sort of expression of that, but they shut that down, whatever it was. And they could have like run away, like I said earlier. Because this person feels guilt and shame when it comes to attraction, simply attraction even. They ran away from this and they refused to play a part in that emotion, that love, that Like, it feels almost like an expression of some sort of feelings. Like, even if it wasn't really anything super serious. Like, you could have just even complimented this person. And they were just like, nope, I gotta run away. Like, I'm scared. Like, this person, I feel like, ran away from you. They shut you down. They ran away. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. But now, they're like, wait. I'm seeing things from a different perspective now. It feels like that. Like, they're like, wait. I didn't really mean it, though. Like, it feels like maybe they're kind of like, they're like, I think they've definitely had a change in mindsets and, like, the way that they see things now. They've definitely had, like, a shift in perspectives, and now it's like it feels almost like they're saying, like, can I change my mind, actually? Because maybe they realized that it was really just them being triggered by their past trauma. Or, you know, maybe they were realizing, like, wait, why am I feeling so ashamed and guilty for just simply being attracted to somebody? Like, I don't know. There's something here that they're, like, thinking about this situation much differently now than they did before. Maybe they're realizing how they self-sabotaged. You know, how they were closed off to this connection before. And now they're like, no, I think that this is exactly what I need. Especially with that Two of Wands. On the traditional Two of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck, it shows a story of somebody that, you know, strived for something. They had, like, their eyes on the prize, and then they achieved that thing. But then they're like, wait, what else? Something's missing here. I'm missing something. What is it? I need to find it. I think they realized that what they ran from was exactly what they wanted, or exactly what they needed. And now they're revisiting it. Like, it feels like they're reigniting this hope or this desire for something to happen here. Bottom of the deck is the Death card. Now that I like a lot, because that shows very significant transformation. Like, this is one of the most transformative cards in the deck. Truly. Like, major stuff with this Death card. Like, this is major transformation. There could even be an ego death involved, which could be very relevant. Because a lot of times when we run away from the things that are actually meant for us, it's usually our ego that plays a part in that, you know? Like, something about it tells you you're not safe even when you are. And I think that this person could have very much, like, realized what they were doing, and they were like, wait. So yeah, maybe they have to kill off their ego to an extent. Or shut it down, you know? Like, when that ego tries to rear its ugly head and tell you, like, hey, you should be afraid, you should run away from this. I know it looks like a good idea, but it's not, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, maybe they have to kind of stand up for themselves and be like, actually, I don't think that I'm in danger here. If anything, I'm in danger of being happy, you know? Like, it's so funny what our ego will convince us of sometimes. But honestly, this really feels like they've had a huge inner transformation. Regardless of if it's the ego death or not, like, this is a big transformation on a very personal level. I'm also getting, like, yeah, it's very much with perspectives as well. I'm getting a lot about, like, perspective shifts that are very much, like, a big part of this. Because, like, if you think about it, when you, how do I say this? When you die and you take that journey over to death, you know, and what comes after death. When you are dead, and your spirit continues on living in the afterlife, you see things from a completely different perspective. And it's usually a more enlightened perspective. You can see much more than you could in your 3D body. You could perceive things outside of yourself. and all around, like, yeah. So because of that, um, next phase of your spirit's journey or your soul's journey, it allows you to see things from a completely new pair of eyes. And that's kind of what I'm feeling this transformation is like for this person. They're really seeing things from a completely different perspective. And maybe it really was just them reflecting on their past trauma and reflecting on how these things were holding them back and how they were convincing them to do things that, didn't really serve them. And, that fear of like something making you happy, I think they really are seeing things from a completely different perspective. And maybe this has to do with some sort of like spiritual awakening that they've been going through. Like, it feels very personal to them. Like, on a very personal level, this feels very deep and personal. I'm really getting that there's some sort of like, maybe like spiritual awakening that this person went through. And now they're really seeing things from a completely different perspective. So maybe in the past when they were like, oh, I can't do things that will make me happy because I'll feel ashamed or guilty or, whatever. And now they're like, no, I deserve to be happy. I actually deserve to go towards the things that will make me happy. And maybe that shift is exactly what they needed to realize that what they were running from was exactly what they needed or wanted. Can you clarify that Four of Cups in the reverse, please, and thank you, Spirit? Five of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. Also, I really like that this Five of Cups is coming out after the Four of Cups, because that talks to me about forward moving progress, upward progress, progression, forward movement, growth. I don't know what that was. Some buggy. But like the Five of Cups upright is a place of very much like depression, pessimism, heartbreak, all that, rougher stuff. In the reverse, it feels like they're shaking that. There's something about this card. There's another message, but I don't know. What is it? So maybe when they rejected you in the past or ran from you, maybe it caused them to go into a deep depression. Especially if they felt like they lost their opportunity with you. If they feel like they sabotaged this, yeah, that could have led them to feel like really like a lot of self-resentment. Because I am almost picking up on this energy of like, why did I do that? Like, it almost feels like I just messed up everything. And then they're realizing this and they're just feeling like so... That could even add to guilt and shame. Like when they're realizing how they're self-sabotaging this and how it's everything they could ever want, and yet they're still running from, or they ran from it anyways. And then they could have gone through this like depression of like being like, I'm the worst. Like, this is why I don't deserve good things, because I always ruin it. Or, this is why I shouldn't be offered good things because I'll just self-sabotage. Like, it feels like very much like a, to an extent, a little bit of a woe is me sort of energy, but that's okay. We all go through those moments. Like, we're not perfect. None of us are perfect. Like, we all go through those moments at one point or another. And we also all have those moments of self-sabotage, whether we realize if it's that or not. We do self-sabotage, especially when we don't acknowledge our past traumas and how they affect us and how they tend to make us avoid the things that are actually good and healthy for us. But it feels like they had enough of that sort of victim mentality. Like, it really does feel like they got kind of sick of their own BS. Yeah, because it almost feels like maybe yes. And this is kind of going back to how they kind of identified as a victim. So, like, upright, very much victim mentality. In the reverse is them shaking that victim mentality and identifying with that victim mindset. Oh my gosh. Bottom of the deck, the Lovers card. This person, I love that this is at the bottom of the deck because it's telling me that this person is ready not only for like this divine, beautiful soulmate sort of connection here, but like choices are a big part of the Lovers card. This is somebody that is willing now to step into the position of making those divine choices. You know, in the past when they tried to avoid what was divinely meant for them, you know, and they purposely chose not to engage with those options or choices that are on their divine path, that are meant for them, and Spirit wants them to go towards those things. They chose the opposite in the past of not going towards those divine things. And it just led to more unhappiness, more sorrow, more, you know, victim mentality. And now they're ready to make those choices that are actually positive and for their own growth and for their own happiness. Like, it feels like they're finally stepping into this place where they're no longer afraid to make the choices that are actually going to fulfill them. What else do you have for that, please and thank you, Spirit? What else? Page of Wands, baby. That's them switching their perspective into being much more optimistic. Yeah, because I mentioned earlier with that Fool card that popped up at the bottom of the deck earlier, that there is a lot of optimism and like openness and like excitement for that new beginning. And this is kind of like them embodying that sort of energy. Like, that youthful optimism, that why the hell not? This makes me happy. Why don't I just pursue it? You know? Why don't I explore it? What's the worst that can happen kind of energy? So yeah, I feel like they're definitely going to be embodying that type of energy because it's like, I think they've had enough of like feeling like a victim and identifying with being a victim and, you know, feeling sorry for themselves and feeling pessimistic. You know, I feel like they're ready to be optimistic for once. And I think that that's really beautiful because it takes a lot to get to that point. When your brain is almost hardwired to be pessimistic, and that's all based on like your upbringing, socialization, like there's so many things that play a part in that. And so when your brain is almost practically hardwired to be pessimistic and to see things in that darker, more depressing sort of point of view, it takes a lot for you to shift into a more positive or optimistic mindset. So this shows a lot of strength on this person's end. They are realizing what is going wrong within them, and they're not just like accepting that and being like, well, that's just how I am, I guess, oh well. This is somebody that's actually like taking back their power and being like, no, actually, I don't want to be pessimistic. I don't want to be the victim. I don't want to be like lingering in this feeling of being sad and how I messed up all my opportunities in life and stuff and just lingering in that. No, this is somebody that's like, no, I deserve to give myself a fighting chance. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Wands. So yeah, there is fear, but I don't think they're letting that fear hold them back anymore. I am almost even seeing like, and I've never really seen the Nine of Wands like this before, but the way he's looking at the wands that are building up this wall, for some reason it's hitting me as like a resentful kind of energy. Like this person knows that they've been hurt and that they built up a wall because of all that past pain, you know, because to protect themselves and stuff, but it's almost like the energy I'm getting from this card is them kind of looking at the wall that they've built and them being like, why did I do that to myself? Like, I really feel like this person is just getting sick of the things that their ego has been doing to them. Like, it's like they're getting, like, I don't want to say that they're getting sick of themselves, because I don't think this is really who they are. I think this is really just like their ego and their trauma and stuff. I don't think this is who they genuinely are as a person. And so that's where their genuine, like, energy is just like kind of being resentful of that. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you building up a wall to keep people out when all they want to do is help you? Or why are you thinking that anybody that tries to come into your life is just going to be like the past and they're going to hurt you just like everybody else did? Like, it feels like this person's like really getting sick of that part of themselves. And they're just like, dude, like, they're just like so ready to change, it feels like. And with that death card that came out at the bottom of the deck before, yeah, like, they have to change. If they want to have any sort of feeling of contentment in life, if they want to feel any sort of happiness whatsoever, they have to change. And I think that's what they're realizing. And they're getting so, like, sick and tired of always sabotaging things, of always choosing what is not gonna fulfill them. Like, this is some crazy stuff. What else do you gotta say about that Page of Wands, please and thank you, Spirit? Please and thank you. Is there anything else you want to say? Strength card, yes. They have to go within and find that inner strength, which they do have. And maybe they thought that they didn't have that within them. Maybe they thought that they didn't have that inner strength. It almost feels like they saw that you had that kind of inner strength, and maybe they thought that it was like out of reach for them. Like, you can do it, but I can't, is kind of the energy I'm getting. So I'm even getting, maybe like you did like set an example for this person. Maybe you had to make these difficult sort of decisions in your own personal life. And this person's like, you know what? That's really inspiring, and I want to be just like that. Or I want to do that kind of stuff where I make difficult decisions, where I don't self-sabotage, you know? And there is also like a part of spirit playing a part of this, because there's that enlightenment, that connection to spirit that helps you gain that inner strength. So again, like something to do with a spiritual awakening. And this is somebody that's finding their inner power again, finding that strength within them, finding the courage within them to be hopeful, to be optimistic. Because it, you know, being hopeful and optimistic is so damn hard in this day and age. Like, have you seen the state of the world? Like, literally, like everything is constantly telling you how awful this world is, how awful life is. It takes so much courage and inner strength to be hopeful, to be optimistic. Like, it's such a strength. And I hate that some people see that as being naive or stupid or out of touch. And, you know, maybe in certain circumstances it is. But I think overall, it's so important for us to have that within us, that ability to be optimistic, that ability to be hopeful. And in a lot of ways, I think it's very rebellious, you know? Very counterculture, if I may. But yeah, they have to overcome those inner demons. They have to overcome that trauma. They have to overcome all of those inner obstacles that are just telling this person to sabotage, to go towards the things that are not actually for them, that are not going to make them happy. Avoid the things that do make them happy. All of that they need to like straighten out within them, and they are. They're realizing, oh, I've had this strength all along, and I'm able to tap into that, and I'm able to use that strength to become more optimistic, to give this a fighting chance. Because like, this is what they truly want. This is what they will truly find fulfillment with. And spirit, I think, is also helping this person. I really do feel like spirit is like kind of like right beside them or something. Like, it feels like they're just like right there helping them. And I feel like Spirit is probably very proud of this person, especially with all of this hard work that they've been doing under the surface, inside. Bottom of the deck is still that Nine of Wands. So maybe that first step is breaking down their wall. Who knows how long this wall has been built or standing like that, you know? That could be like the first task. Is like, I actually have to remove this wall because I'm closing myself off to opportunities and people who genuinely just want to be kind to me and people that genuinely just want to help me, or you know, whatever. People that genuinely just want to genuinely connect with me even. Like, I need to break this down. I can't let these past hurts and pains control this situation anymore, or control the story or the narrative. Because it almost feels like this person even gave those past pains, those past betrayals, or whatever happened in their past, I feel like they almost gave them too much power over them and let those past issues, situations control their own narrative, control their own storyline. And they're like, no. Because it's almost like, not only, like, say one of these instances was like an abusive ex or something. You know, not only did that ex abuse you and you have the repercussions of the trauma and stuff, but because you're building up a wall and you're using that ex as an example as to why you're building up that wall, it's almost like you are letting that ex have like a permanent place in your life, in your mind, in your soul even. Like, literally, like, you're, I don't even know if that makes any sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you are almost, like, because you're not releasing that pain. You're using it as an example. You're using it as an example as to why you're a victim. You're using it as an example as to why you can't move on. You're using it as an example as to why I need to build up this wall to protect myself, because they're going to be just like this one ex that I experienced. And, you know, that's not to say that anybody going through recovery from those sort of traumatic events or anything is, you know, we all have our own ways of going about that healing journey. But I'm saying maybe in this specific instance, this is what this person realized. They were almost giving too much power to those past circumstances. And maybe to an extent they were almost using it as a way out, or like a, I don't even know, like, some of these things I can't even like think of the words for. Like, they may have used it as an excuse, or yeah, like, instead of like having to be like, oh, I clearly have trauma that I need to deal with from the past, they were like, oh, I am the way that I am because of my past, and therefore I don't have to work on myself, I don't have to improve myself, I don't have to try and grow, because it's okay that I'm stuck in this spot because it's because of my past. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making any sense, but it feels like this person is really realizing that they can take back their power. They can control their own narrative. They can control their storyline. They don't have to be the victim, you know? They can be a survivor, you know? Okay, let me just see if there's anything else. Please and thank you. To end out this reading. Please and thank you, Spirit. Got anything else? Oh my goodness! Okay, so we got the Moon card and the Fool card. So that's wonderful. We saw the Fool card earlier, so this is really showing that they are really, really actually gonna do this now. Like, no longer are they just thinking about it, but they are actually gonna put in the effort and the action. And again, that Page of Wands is gonna help them get into this Fool energy because of the optimism, the hopefulness. I think right now, this yeah, this feels like a closed curtain on a stage, you know, like everything is going on behind the curtain because they're all setting up like the sets and stuff for the play. And then when they finally open up the curtain, everything's ready for the production, you know? And so I feel like right now, their preparation is happening behind the scenes where you can't see it. So I feel like this new beginning is going to catch you off guard because I don't think you're going to see it coming. And also, you know, if this person just recently ran away from you or tried to avoid you or, you know, whatever, you could be still in this space of not communicating directly. And then suddenly they come in and they express themselves. And maybe they share with you like what has been going on behind the scenes, you know, what they have been trying to overcome within themselves, you know, the struggles that they've been going through, you know, the way in which they self-sabotage, but they want to change that now, you know? So I feel like they are like going through this very, but it's very hidden from you. But it's going to be revealed, especially because we have the moon, and then in the Fool card, we have the sun. So it is going to be revealed. It's just a matter of timing. And it feels like as soon as their preparation is ready, like they've done all the preparation that they can, they've done all of that reflection that they can, they've tried to remove as much of that pessimism and depression and sadness and darkness as they can, then they can come in with that optimism, that hopefulness, that eagerness. Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is very interesting too because it's like, okay, I'm very overburdened, but this person is just about to put down that burden. So like if they have been feeling burdened by this situation, which it feels like they definitely have, they've been thinking about this a lot, and they're self-sabotaging. So like all of that heavy burden that's been on their shoulders, they're about to, you know, give it away or, you know, release it. So that could be in two ways, you know, releasing those past pains, past hurts, those emotions from the past, releasing that. But also I'm seeing this as maybe if this is like all the passion that they've been building up for you, all of the ways that they wish that they interacted with you instead of shutting you down or avoiding you. It feels like they're ready now to express that. They're ready to lay down their burdens. They're ready to let all of that off of their chest, you know? Whatever they've been hiding, whatever they've been, you know, doing behind the scenes, they're ready to express that now. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I really love this reading. This person's really cool, actually, you know? Because, like, it takes so much to get to this point, you know, when you get sick of your shadow self to the point where you're like, okay, I need to take back control here. I need to take back my own power, okay? And that feels like exactly what this person's doing because they know what is worth it. And the connection that they share with you feels like it's definitely worth it. Ugh, that's so pretty. I love that. Okay, anyways, so that's the reading. I hope that this resonated for you. If it resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective. Because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me. And we can be a little bee family together. And if you like my readings, and you'd like to see more, okay? Be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you next time I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!